Hi, everybody. It's Karen Sullivan with lifehealthmore.net. And today I am talking to you about bugs, understanding bugs. Now, the bugs that we have in our colon is what I'm talking about. And so you have, we're talking about healthy cleanses, and we're talking about cleaning out the body. And it's not it's not like cleaning your house. Okay, when you clean your house and you are going to wipe things down, and if there's something, well, when you wipe it, everything goes. But if you don't want everything to go, you move the stuff, right? Well, you can't do that in your body. So when we're doing these cleanses, one of the things that you have to remember is what goes in then comes out, and it just washes away everything. So that's my argument against doing cleanses, is that doing that everything wash away is not always the best thing to do. So let's talk about the colon and what is in the colon. Now, I'm not a doctor, and this is going to be a really like short little Cliff Notes version to help you to understand about cleansing. I am a personal trainer, and I've worked with people for a very long time. I am an independent Shaklee distributor, and I have taken the fitness aspect of my work and melded together with the Shaklee products that I've been taking since the 60s, and then and then operating a Shaklee business and sharing these products with people since the 80s, actually. So I've taken them, I've seen the results within my own body, and I really feel compelled to share this stuff with you guys. So first, let me back up a little bit and say my website, which is lifehealthmore.net, I do a weekly blog, and you would have that blog would be sent to you. And then I also have advanced training there that's about all kinds of stuff, fitness stuff. And so the thing to remember about my training is you can't get it and you won't have access to it until you fill out the information that says, yes, you want to subscribe. So you subscribe, I get your name, I get your email address, you hit subscribe, and then immediately comes another tab on your server that says you have to confirm your email address, and then you'll start getting all the different modules, and I've recorded videos of things that you can't get anywhere else. So I just want to encourage you to do that. There's not a charge for this. It's free. And you're also welcome to write to me at Karen@lifehealthmore.net, and then I'd be glad to correspond with you, okay? So let's go back to the normal and the stuff that's in our colon. You have lactobacilli, and then you have, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, bifidobacteria. Okay, those are the two most important kinds of bacteria that are in the colon. Now, understand that even before birth, the whole digestive tract is completely sterile. Actually, the entire baby is sterile. And from the time that infant comes down the birth canal and then enters into the world, and then you're breathing, that's when the bacteria is introduced into the body, both good and bad. And the stuff that's good just multiplies. And I remember when my son was little, he had a problem with oh golly, isn't this terrible? Holy criminy, I can't remember. Anyway, it was from too much sugar, and it happened in the summer that he discovered watermelon. And let's see, he was probably 10 months old when he started eating watermelon, and he was eating so much of it because he just loved it. And of course, what's watermelon? It's just, a few extra wet diapers, right? Well, what it did was it caused candida, because it's a high level of sugar in the body, which fed the bad bacteria in the body, and ended up caused a really horrible diaper rash with him. And so, of course, I know he wouldn't like to have me talking about that too much, so I'll stop there. But anyway, that's the important thing to remember about that balance that happens. So you want to have that good bacteria in the colon, and you want to make sure you're feeding it. So you have to make sure that you're working with having a good diet, watching the amount of sugar that you're eating, making sure there's plenty of fiber there, because that's all important. And that bacteria is important. Now, oftentimes you do want to and need to add more of the good bacteria. That's where the crunch comes here, okay? Because it is a multi-billion-dollar business now to have all these probiotics in all this food. You've got it in yogurt, you have it in cookies, you have it in this and this and this. Well, that's not necessarily the kind of bacteria. Well, it is the kind of bacteria that you need in there in some cases, but you have to make sure that there's not fillers in it and sugar that's in the product, which of course, if you're having yogurt, there's sugar in it, and then that supposedly the probiotic formulas, because what happens is it gets into the body and it's in the stomach and it kills the bacteria. The stomach acids kill the bacteria. Now, the probiotics keep the pH of your colon acidic, but it's not the same kind of acid as this acid in the stomach. So a lot of times the delivery system for these prebiotics or probiotics that you order and take don't have, the capsules aren't going to protect it. So it goes into the stomach, and the acids in the digestive juices in the stomach break that down. The probiotics go into the colon and they're killed by the stomach acid. So they go in the stomach, so they never get to the colon. Okay. Well, a lot of time also there are binders and fillers that are just trash, and you don't really want that in your system. So make sure that you have a delivery system that's really good. That's one of the reasons why I like the stuff that I take, because it's a tiny little pearl. It has a triple layer protecting that good flora and fauna that's in the good bacteria. And so it doesn't dissolve until it gets into, it partially dissolves. It's made to partially dissolve in the stomach from the acid in the stomach. But then by the time it gets to the colon, it's ready and it releases it. The other thing is you have to make sure that there's good food for them to eat. And a two products system is really the best, that has a prebiotic, which is the food for the probiotic, and it will help them to multiply, because you want to have that count of that good bacteria really high in your system. Well, why? Well, what's it do? It can help with immunity. It helps to maintain a normal balance in the system. There are some research that shows that it will help to keep someone with Crohn's disease and the system balanced in their colon, and so that's IBS is another thing that will help with. But overall immunity is also good, and it discourages when there's a lot of it. I read something where they were saying it's kind of like the Old West, where the cowboys are saying, "Hey, I've taken over this town and there's no room for anybody but us." Well, that's what that good bacteria does. It will grow when it's given the right circumstances and the food that will help it to multiply. And then it basically pushes out the bad bacteria and or the bacteria that's indifferent, to kind of cleanse the colon in that way. So this cleansing of a colon is important to understand. Those good bugs need to be in there, in just like millions and billions of them. And then it will overpower the other stuff. And that, with the normal digestion, you'll end up getting rid of that stuff. So anyway, that's a little short vignette here on understanding the bugs in your colon and in your body. We have them. They're all over. It's just a fact of life. We just want the good ones to be there to support our bodies and help us feel better. So for those of you who have joined us today, I really appreciate it. And I'm hoping that if you are interested in hearing my whole webinar, that is going to be on the 31st. You need to register, okay? Register for the webinar on the perfect human diet and gut health, and talking about a healthy cleanse. There's a lot of stuff going to be in that, and it will follow my live presentation here in St. Peter's on the 30th. But if you want to come, please register for the webinar at Life Health More on Facebook. In the meantime, guys, you're wonderful, and I appreciate your following me. Take care.